you insinuating that SilentMark is one of your dads now?
No, Cam.
Better not be me.
Oh, I'm the granddad.
I'm not paying child support.
Are you older than Cam?
Mark's more like an uncle, and yeah, I am older than Cam, but
Yeah, I'm the uncle. Do you watch wrestling?
Wow, this one's definitely going to make it into the
Sure.
same wrestling address.
Shall we practice?
Yes, we shall. Let the boy watch. Ladies and
Do you want to know
gentlemen,
the best sound? So before you start, do you want to know the best sound? It's this. Hopefully you can hear it.
barely.
Oh, bastard.
I feel like I've stumbled into some weird Matrix-like ASMR.
I fucked up the beginning of that. Carry on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the State of Wrestling Address, brought to you by the Wrestle Plug. I am, of course, the king of shithouse, Saraya, the Egyptian Death Machine, the AC, and everything above in professional wrestling that is Aeron Nix. Now, the State of Wrestling Address means we talk about the week's wrestling news. There isn't much of it, but we will talk about it, and then we'll basically descend into Mania like we always do. I have 3 guests on tap. First of all, the proprietor of Peacehaven, the cream of the crop, the leader of the bromance, the man who loves to wear a Christmas shirt in September. It is, of course, Cameron Cream Anderson getting ready. He's just 3 weeks away from his CWP tag team title opportunity against Good Goth Almighty.
Yeah, and after we win that title match, we're watching Home Alone to celebrate.
We are doing a Home Alone watch along at some point. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check that out. I don't know how we're going to fucking do that because we cannot get away with actually having Home Alone on the YouTube video. So I think what we'll do is we'll just record ourselves watching it and then people can watch it with us and put it on in the background. That'll probably be the best. But yeah, if you want us to do watch-alongs of certain films, whether they be terrible or great, let us know. Now, of course, joining us once again is a man who dips in and out at times, but he is, of course, the man who puts wood in Bollywood. He is, of course, Tanvir.
Pleasure being here, sir. And we have 4 guests. My dog's joined us, so.
Yes, we do. And your dog is gorgeous, to be fair. So shout out to it. What's your dog's name again?
Her name is Phoebe.
Phoebe. Mad love to Phoebe. And what I like about Phoebe is at no point will she interrupt me, unlike her brown counterpart. And joining us, of course, is wrestling royalty, arguably the sexiest man in the North. Arguably the sexiest man. He's looking behind himself, but he knows it's him. He owns a mirror. He must know how good he looks. He's not quite as silent as his name would suggest. He is, of course, the MC and host of Coliseum Professional Wrestling and, of course, Odyssey Pro Wrestling based in Morecambe, up in Lancashire way, up north. I mean, Reet up north. But he is, of course, also one half of Silent and the Death Machine. He is SilentMark.
Hello. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's right. Wait till you get your New Japan entrance and then you'll be really excited. Everybody gets a New Japan intro at some point on this podcast. Ooh. It might be racially insensitive, but speaking of New Japan, let's start
just so you know, I'm Jewish, so you can use that.
Excellent stuff. I look forward to that.
Just use that.
Potentially related to MJF, we'll confirm later on in the podcast. So, this weekend is NJPW's Royal Quest. Now, I should quickly preface it because he's too polite to say so, but SilentMark is, although being in wrestling, is not somebody who spends his entire life watching wrestling because he's not a virgin. So he will obviously dip in and out when he needs to. So my apologies if you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about for the next 10 minutes, sir. New Japan Pro Wrestling will, of course, present Royal Quest this weekend at the Copper Box, I believe, in London. Actually, well, Crystal Palace, I believe, is one of the venues, isn't it?
Both nights are at Crystal Palace.
They're both at Crystal Palace. No Copper Box this year. That's a shame because the Copper Box was an excellent area. And obviously, the last time they did this show was in 2019, and of course, the pandemic and the Japanese take COVID very, very seriously, which is why they haven't been touring nearly as much as they normally would like to. So, Royal Quest, 2 nights, 2 cards with 8 matches on them. So we're going to quickly predict them. And as you can imagine, I'm sure Tanvir will have plenty to say while the rest of us roll our eyes in disappointment. Tanvir, you ready to break down this card?
Sure, can do.
Cameron Anderson, are you ready to break down this card?
Well, as it has been documented many times, I am not a New Japan watcher, so yeah, I'll make up some funny stuff to say.
SilentMark, are you ready to break down Royal Quest 2?
I'll try.
Well, if you recognise someone, feel free to chime in. We start with night one, Dan Maloney versus Gabriel Kidd.
Oh,
Yeah, what? Yeah, you. You're
oh,
the
me?
expert.
I was gonna let someone else go. Okay,
The one time you didn't jump in.
yeah, because I feel like jumping a lot, so I'm like, let somebody
You
else.
feel like jumping a lot, do you? You're feeling froggy, honey.
Okay, I'll start it off then. I'm Gabriel Kidd.
Yeah. Good match, to be fair.
Yeah.
Very good match. Two Whopper powerhouses. Big fan of Dan Maloney, so I'm hoping he goes over. I think this is a great opportunity for Dan Maloney because he's obviously a progress talent and stuff like that. And he's a guy that genuinely could really benefit because he wrestles a very powerful style of wrestling. So I think New Japan Pro Wrestling will really enjoy what he's got to offer. So I'm going to stick my neck out and say Dan Maloney because I like Gabriel Kidd, but he's a bit vanilla for me.
With the issue with Dan is that what this is going to be is it's going to be like a traditional New Japan style Young Lions match. So I think that's why Gabe's going to win, but almost like extend the olive branch of like, hey, come over to the LA dojo or go over to Japan and become a Young Lion, so that Dan gets featured more and gets more and maybe gets a bit more character. Because I just feel like Dan's just the look like, yeah, he's ripped, but he just feels like a guy from the ends.
I do feel like he's improved a lot from when we first saw him, Dan Maloney. Like when I first saw him, I was very critical of him in the sense of I found him very boring. He was just a body guy, but he's proven himself to have a lot of chops on him. I like his rivalry with Mad Kurt as well online. They've been going back and forth for a long time, wrestling each other. Cameron or Mark, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dan Maloney as well. I just like him. It's a very difficult one to call, but I think Dan Maloney for me, since I saw him actually, I think wrestling for like an NXT UK match, and I wasn't too impressed with him then, but ever since, I just feel like he's gotten better and better and better. You know, the looks better. I feel like he wrestles better, and I hope he wins, but I feel like he probably won't.
Yeah, that's fair. SilentMark, who you got, Dan Maloney or Gabriel Kidd?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not familiar with either of them, but hearing from what you've said and considering he's a progress man, I'd go with Dan Maloney as well, to be honest.
That's very smart. Next up on night one, United Empire's Great O'Khan and Lord Gideon Gray versus Michael Oku, who some people might know as OJMO, and Ricky Knight Jr., who I'm sure everyone would have at least heard of.
This one's a bit tougher to call because there's the two champs of Rev Pro, and then you've got it's just the one champ now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky Knight Jr. is currently the Revolution Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, because they like united him. Okay.
No, they didn't.
Oh, they didn't. Okay, so
Luke Jacobs beat OJMO.
Okay, I missed that. Thanks, Cam. I'm gonna go then with United Empire beating Oku and Ricky Knight Jr., but O'Khan getting the win over Ricky Knight Jr. to set up a title defense at Rev Pro.
Makes sense. Cam, who you got?
Yeah, I really like that idea. I love Gideon Gray. I've actually trained under him before. He's got a incredible knowledge of the sport, and obviously speaks the world of Great O'Khan, who I've never actually had the opportunity to meet. I've met Michael Oku and Ricky Knight Jr. like once each, but I think I have to say from what I've seen of them, what I've seen of Great O'Khan, I have to go Great O'Khan, unfortunately.
All right, SilentMark, United Empire or Michael Oku and Ricky Knight Jr.?
I'd go United Empire again. I would.
Right.
I've seen Gideon Gray wrestle, and he is fucking amazing. Not seen the Great O'Khan, but if it's on the same standard, I don't think the other two have got a chance.
I think they're more cohesive.
I'm going to say Michael Oku and Ricky Knight Jr.
Okay.
I think with Gideon Gray being in it. Gideon Gray is a weird one because he's incredible wrestler. Incredible promo as well. But also, he does like to play the weak point in matches, and I think that might be the in for the other two to pick up a win.
Yeah. I was going to say, the thing being a New Japan fan is that Gideon Gray's kind of like that Bushi, Takamichi Noku level of like, they're really great in the ring, they're really solid, charismatic, bring something to the group, but you know they're always going to take the pinfall because they're not at that level. They're kind of like the jobber of the group, even though they're still really good. So that's why I kind of wanted to flip it of like, because Gideon's been in New Japan now for I think about a month and a bit, and now coming back to the UK, it'd be cool to see maybe Great Okan getting pinning Ricky Knight Jr. and then you have Gideon there as a hype man of standing over Ricky Knight Jr. to be like, here's your next challenger for the title.
I'm just pleased for Gideon Gray. He gets to wrestle in front of a sold-out Crystal Palace on night one. Guy who is happy to wrestle in front of 50 people, happy to wrestle in front of 100 people, and now he's going to wrestle in front of a few thousand from what I can hear. So that's pretty fucking cool. Women's action.
Well, oh, sorry.
What's that, mate?
I was going to add, so in my opinion, Michael Oku and Ricky Knight Jr., to be fair, they're like the two kind of top stars in the UK at the moment. I can't really think of anyone that I like see on a card. I'm like, wow, I need to see this.
Not Aaron Cruz.
But fuck him.
Not even your trainer. Cam, what about your trainer?
Mate, I don't have to put everyone over. I can just do it separately. I don't have to go, well, I like this guy, but I also like all of these names that I've met before. But yeah, I have to say, I think they're like the two top stars in the country at the moment. But I think the tag team cohesion is what's going to get United Empire the win.
Women's tag team action. Ava White and Alex Windsor versus Jazzy Gabba and who I believe is currently the Progress Women's Champion, Kanji.
I'm gonna go for Alex Windsor and Ava White, with I think Kanji taking the pinfall, because the thing is, even though we know Jazzy Gabba's gonna beat Ava White on the second night due to, as I said earlier, the Stardom reveal of a new faction, I think this is going to be like, okay, Alex Windsor, Ava White get the win in the tag team match to be like, and then Ava and Jazzy have a stare down of like, oh yeah, we've got a singles match tomorrow night. Who's gonna win that one? So I think it's going to be Alex Windsor and Ava White. Kanji taking the pinfall.
Cool. Cameron Anderson, who you got?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Tanvir, because I just feel like whenever there's a show coming up, I see Alex Windsor's name all over it. I see her basically wrestling everywhere. So I think, yeah, she's got a lot to show, and I think yeah, they'll get the win.
SilentMark, women's tag team action. Who you got?
I'd say pretty much the same, because every time I hear of the independent scene over here at the moment, those two are the names that properly pop out. Not seen them yet, but from what I hear, it's good stuff.
I am going to go against the room again. I think Jazzy Gabba and Kanji win. I think that Jazzy Gabba is way, way too big and too monstrous. But Jazzy Gabba, for anyone who doesn't know, is an absolutely stacked powerhouse. Bigger than me. She is a unit. She's a proper Amazonian, and obviously she's going to be built as part of this Stardom faction, I think, and stuff like that. And I just feel like, frankly, she's got the most star power in the eyes of New Japan. So I reckon Jazzy Gabba and Kanji will pick up the win here. 6-man tag team match. Los Ingobernables de Japon's Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, and Hiromu Takahashi versus Suzuki Goon's trio of Zack Sabre Jr., El Desperado, and Dookie.
No, go
How
back.
Unfortunate.
If you go back and watch Best of Super Juniors, Dookie put on a shift. But obvious is obvious. Yeah, obvious is
on
obvious.
The porcelain throne he did, yeah. Fucking hell.
Dookie's really good. Really, really good.
Yeah, well, tell him to change his fucking name then.
If you obvious is obvious, it's gonna be Los Ingobernables de Japón. Dookie taking the pinfall, because like I said, Dookie's kind of like the jobber guy of a Suzuki Gun, but still really good in the ring. So
the number 2 guy.
I like your style. Tanvir's already gone.
Well,
Thank you very much.
He kind of is in terms of the juniors for Suzuki Gun, because you've got Desperado, Kanemaru, and Dookie, and I feel like Dookie's slowly kind of superseding Kanemaru into the number 2 position. So Cam, it was a good joke, but now thinking retrospect, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for explaining the joke. We appreciate that. Cameron Anderson, who you got in this trios match?
Well, I have to go with Sonada because he's got
Okay.
cool hair.
A good choice, a wise choice. SilentMark, who do you have out of these, probably in your eyes, incredibly difficult to pronounce individuals?
I am awful at pronunciation. But so I've decided for the next few, because I don't know many of the names, I'm just going on looks. And going on looks, I'm going to go against you two. I'd go for Dookie, El Desperado and Zack Sabre Jr.
And
They
I will
look
pick
more like beasts.
Los Ingobernable de Japón because, in my opinion, Tetsuya Naito is one of the best wrestlers of all time. Chaos versus TMDK in a tag team match. Chaos will be Kazuchika Okada and Tomohiro Ishii. TMDK will be, of course, Jonah Rock and Bad Dude Tito.
It's gonna be Chaos winning, but Bad Dude Tito, he's putting on a shift, and I think it was a couple weeks back because him and Suzuki was like billed by fans as the most important match in New Japan history. Has a joke, but also because in a way it was really important because it was the first match back with the crowd cheering. So it was a really like kind of big signal of like, okay, crowd's cheering back. Let's see how it goes. So it's gonna be Chaos winning, Bad Dude Tito taking the pinfall. And I think it's gonna be Ishii pinning Tito.
Cool. Cameron Anderson, who you got? Meaty horses.
Yeah, I like the
Japanese legends.
I like the sound of this Bad Dude Tito. I think that's the best name I've ever heard. So I'm going with him. I wish that was my name, to be honest, but instead I'm just stuck with Cam Bigelow.
Cam Bigelow. How have I not thought of that? You now have a permanent name. Congratulations. You need to get fucking on the protein very quickly, Sunshine. SilentMark, who you got? Traditionally,
I'd go with the Hosses, to be fair.
Yeah,
Those two look like big bastards.
I would normally pick the Hosses, but ultimately Kazuchika Okada, from what I can tell, never ever fucking loses. So I'm going to go with Okada and Tomohiro Ishii. An 8-man tag team match. For anyone who's not necessarily clued up on New Japan, they do tend to flood their cards with a lot of very big tag team matches when they build to their bigger main events. Hiroshi Tanahashi and the Gorillas of Destiny, which will be Tamatonga, Hikuleo, and Jado. And they will face Bullet Club's Jay White, Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, and Gado.
It's a really tough one. I'm gonna go with the team of Tanahashi and God, because with Hikuleo just turning on Bullet Club and joining Hontai and God, yeah, home team. I think
helping themselves, are they?
I think it is going to be Tanahashi and Hikuleo and God team beating the Bullet Club team, with Gado taking the pinfall.
Cameron Anderson.
I'm going with Gorillas of Destiny because Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows suck monkey nuts, in my opinion. So I want to see them lose, and I'm adding a bonus match to the card when I fight both of them in a handicap match outside of Crystal Palace in the parking lot.
What a
I'd watch that.
Nathan.
I would watch that.
And now I have to tag Machine Gun Carl Anderson for viewing pleasure. SilentMark, who you got? Have you got God and Hiroshi Tanahashi, or do you have the Bullet Club?
I would do God and Hiroshi Tanahashi, simply because Gallows and Anderson always look like two people who would throw at least two of you out of their bar.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The world's poorest biker gang.
Yeah.
I just wanted to instead of Gado taking the pinfall, I'm gonna say Cam's cousin Carl Anderson is gonna take the pinfall, because Hikuleo just challenged Carl Anderson for the Never Openweight Championship. And what New Japan like to do is that they don't like to just do an empty challenge. So I think Hikuleo is going to pin him so that he has a reason to challenge, of like, hey, I pinned you in this tag match, give me my shot. So I think Hikuleo is going to pin Carl.
So cool. I'm probably going to say the Bullet Club. just because why not? So I'm pretty much just picking
You
everything that everyone
contrary
else is.
bastard.
But it's Jay White who's fucking incredible, and yeah, like they've got a lot more, shall we say, commercial success. It just for me, I would probably have them go over anyway, just because that seems like a better choice. Although I do love Tama Tonga. What's happened to the other half of where's Tangaloa?
Loa's unfortunately still injured, so that's why Tama Tonga, even though it's like it's kind of a good bad situation of like, even though Loa's injured, which is bad, at least Tama Tonga's at least now getting like a proper singles run, which has been amazing.
Well, yeah, in my opinion, he's the best character that NJPW has. Because he has that mainstream appeal as well of obviously being an English spoken character as well, which means that he's the kind of guy who can do New Japan Strong and things like that. There are 2 matches left on this card. One of them should be in the main event. It's not. These are just in order of what they put them down as, but I assume this is going to be the main event. FTR's Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood defend the IWGP Tag Team Championships against Aussie Open's Mark Davis and Carl Fletcher. This is your entrance fee right here.
It's going to be FTR. Oh, it's actually really hard to tell. Okay, I'm going Aussie Open. Fuck it, I'm going Aussie Open.
Interesting.
I think it's time for because you've had the team of Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan as United Empire's like kind of tag team, but that's makeshift. I think it's time for Aussie Open to establish themselves as United Empire's tag team. And I think FTR have the AAA titles and they have the ROH titles. And this is their first defense of the IWGP tag titles in I think 3 months. So I think it's FTR should drop them to Aussie Open, and Aussie Open have just been on fire recently. I think that they had a banger of a match with Motor City Machine Guns on Impact recently, which is really good.
Excellent. Cameron Anderson, FTR or Aussie Open?
I'm gonna go with Aussie Open. I really like Aussie Open. I think they're very cool. Not to say I don't like FTR, but I did see one tweet that said that Mark Davis is thick in the front and the back. So that's what I think gives him the edge in this one.
What, his ass?
He got bunda.
He has got mad bunda. Yeah. SilentMark, FTR or Aussie Open?
Aussie Open. Mark Davis looks like someone I wouldn't fuck with. And Kyle Fletcher, in the picture I'm looking at of him, he looks like someone who drew the characters for Mortal Kombat has been asked to draw Green Arrow. And I like that as aesthetic. So I'm going with that.
I'm behind the champions FTR. Like, I don't see why they would put the belts on Aussie Open. I don't think they have enough mainstream appeal, although they are an incredible tag team. It has to be said, one of the best, and obviously applied a lot of their trade over here. They stole the show last time at Royal Quest as well when they faced GOD in an absolute classic. So it'll be an amazing match regardless, but I don't think it really makes sense to take the belts off of FTR. But that being said, if there is one tag team in New Japan that probably should take the belts off them, it is Aussie Open, because I don't really think there's a very good tag team division at all in IWGP's tag team division. That's probably why FTR have the belts, because realistically there aren't that many good tag teams. And the final match for night one is Will Ospreay versus the shooter that is Shota Umino. I've got Will Ospreay, by the way. Love you.
It's probably going to be Ospreay to close out the night, but I feel like if this is the match order and Ospreay Shota is the main event, I feel like taking a video of the FTR Aussie Open and seeing how many people leave.
I would. I know it sounds horrible to say, but I've seen Will Ospreay wrestle like 50 times, and I'm not saying that he's not worth watching. And I think Shota Umino is a great wrestler, but I don't care. For me, that's just
I don't care about it. And the thing is, there's already travel delays and stuff. And if people have a ticket for night 2, they're probably wanting to get back a bit earlier. So
there you go.
Yeah. So
you got Will Ospreay, have you?
Yeah, it's going to be Will Ospreay.
Right, Cam, who you got? Will Ospreay or Shota Umino? Because otherwise, Tanvir
I'm going with Shota. John Moxley running.
Hey! I'm all for it either way. This is kind of like the match where I'm like, I don't really give a shit because it's just kind of there.
No, I love Will Ospreay. I know Tanvir is not a fan, but I love Will Ospreay. I think he's probably one of the best in the world. But I reckon John Moxley's going to run in. Well, I don't think it's going to happen. But I want it.
Where you predict John Moxley to run in at every show. It could be literally, it could be fucking CWP Pumpkins and Pile Drivers. It could be Odyssey's Panic Stations. And you'd be like, yeah, John Moxley to run in and sat Alexis Falcon.
Hey, imagine John Moxley.
Have you heard that?
Lunatrix?
Shit, sorry. Ethan's like, shut the fuck up, god damn it. Although I'm looking forward to having Ethan on so he can explain to me what we apparently did wrong during our review. Or
it was me. It was all me.
It was me.
It was all me.
It was me all along, Ethan.
I fucked it.
SilentMark, Will Ospreay or Shota Umino?
Right. I'm thinking about this from a storyline point of view and from a crowd point of view. Shota's going to win because everyone will want Will Ospreay to win. And then the next night, they end the show with Zack Sabre Jr. winning. Huge crowd pop. Done. That's your night.
And so then you're predicting that in the future, instead of them doing Naito Will again, it will be Zack v Will for the US belt.
I'd say so.
Who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah, because that's what the Zack Naito match for night 2 is. It's that the winner of that match faces Ospreay for the US belt next.
Excellent. Well, seeing as you've mentioned it, let's get on to night 2 and wrap this up as quickly as possible. Suzuki Gunzel, Desperado, and number 2 versus Michael Oku and Lincolnshire's own Robbie X. Come on, baby.
I want to see Robbie X in New Japan so bad, and the fact this is the UK show, but I think I'd love to see him over in Japan. So I think Robbie X is gonna pin Dookie, but I'm looking forward to the Dookie Robbie X exchanges because I think they'll have wonderful chemistry given their styles.
Cameron Anderson.
All right, so you said Lincoln's own, so I'm actually sold already straight away. Robbie X is winning this one on his own.
Man,
he does a cool move where he does a handstand and a drop kick. I love it. He's winning.
SilentMark, Suzuki Gun or Michael Oku and Robbie X?
I'd go for Robbie X and Michael Oku.
Yeah,
I always, again, the people who you expect to win shouldn't always be the ones that win. And I think that sounds like a good match.
Plus,
that was my logic for the AEW trios, and I just got burnt completely. And they just went with the most obvious pick.
Well, Suzuki Gun, in my opinion, are massively overrated. I find them quite boring, which upsets a lot of people, but I just don't get it. I think that the only real appeal there is Zack Sabre Jr. as a wrestler and Suzuki as a character. So
Desperados come leaps and bounds.
Even your dog is fed up with hearing about Suzuki Gun. It's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Like, if you're not supporting Robbie X, get out. Robbie X to get the win because he's from Lincoln, which of course is the greatest city ever to be known in mankind. Los Ingobernables de Japón Sonado and Hiromu Takahashi take on Northwest Strong's Ethan Allen and Luke Jacobs. Or Luke Jacob.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Young Guns.
I'm going to go with Los Ingobernables de Japón, Sonado and Takahashi. Who you got, Mark?
Northwest Strong. Because I think they're absolute fucking beasts.
And
I saw them at
Northwest, so that makes sense.
Well, I saw them at Coliseum and they were fucking amazing. And yeah, I rate him. So
yeah,
there we
Ethan
go.
Allen's just come back, hasn't he? So
yeah, Cam, did you say it's Luke Jacob as champ?
Luke Jacobs is the Rev Pro Cruiserweight champion at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna go Young Guns then with Luke Jacob pinning Hiromu to put over the belt, and also to like Hiromu getting interested and set up Luke Jacob v Hiromu Takahashi in the future.
The first round of the IWGP Women's Championship Tournament, Jazzy Gabbert versus Ava White. I have Jazzy Gabbert because I am not an idiot.
It's gonna be Jazzy Gabbert, and the thing is, the reason why it's gonna be Jazzy Gabbert is because she, not just that, she's been in Stardom before. They're doing the storyline, and the thing is, the third participant of the international bracket has been revealed. They get a bye. They're gonna face the winner of this match. It's gonna be Jazzy Gabbert v Kairi Soho v Kairi.
Kairi Soho.
No, isn't it Kairi Sane? Oh my god, I forgot a WWE name.
What a combination of talents. Cameron Anderson, Jazzy Gabbert, Ava White.
Yeah, sorry, Ava White, but I'm not with you on this one. Best of luck to you in this match, but I gotta go Jazzy Gabba as well.
SilentMark, Jazzy Gabba, or Ava White.
I do the same because yeah.
A clusterfuck.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no. This speaking of clusterfucks, a 10-man tag team match. FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, Shoto Amuno, Gabriel Kidd, and Ricky Knight Jr. versus the entire United Empire. Will Ospreay, Great O'Khan, Aussie Open, and Gideon Gray.
United Empire, Gabriel Kidd taking the pinfall because he's the young lion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, I'm also going to agree. The tag team cohesion.
Yeah, same.
Cool. United Empire clean sweep. Hiroshi Tanahashi and the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Hikuleo versus Bullet Club's Jay White, Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallows in a 6-man tag team match.
Ooh, it's tough to call.
It's a case of whoever wins on day one, I think, will take the loss the second day.
I think Doc Gallows is going to take the pinfall, and it's going to be Tanahashi because Tama Tonga's got Jay White next week for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and Hikuleo's challenged Carl Anderson. So the two guys without storylines at the minute, I think Tanahashi pins Gallows, and yeah.
Cool. Cam?
Yeah, I'm just gonna copy what Tanvir said because I'm a sheep going with the pack.
All right, SilentMark.
I'd go the same, to be honest.
Yeah, I reckon Bullet Club.
Storyline, it makes more sense.
Yeah, Bullet Club. Cam's new favorite wrestler, Bad Dude Tito, takes on Kazuchika Okada in a singles match. I think Okada wins this. Bloody obvious.
It's going to be Okada, but it'll be a good showcase because Okada will put Bad Dude Tito over in a great way as Okada does.
I think John Moxley's going to run in. I think Tito's going to win.
Good fucking lord, honestly.
Orange Cassidy runs in.
Any AEW talents you want to run in during this match?
Buddy Murphy.
I just think the whole roster.
Dude, Buddy Murphy, because he's Australian and TMDK.
He's gone to bed. He's done.
Page, mate.
Page runs in, gives Okada the
Page
DDT.
is going to run in and fuck it.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah,
not literally. Not that.
Yeah, I was going to say, lucky them. In what is easily the match that I would definitely pay to watch, Tomohiro Ishii versus Jonah Rock in meaty, hot slapping affair.
I forgot who. It's going to be Jonah. It's going to be Jonah winning because Jonah's got Okada next week too, in a special singles match. So Jonah's going to be being Ishii in this. And as we saw from Impact Multiverse of matches, this match was, I think, arguably match of the night, up there with I forget what else, but yeah, this would be it's because I was getting mixed up. I was like,
great journalism there, Tanvir.
Yeah. No, I forgot. No, I was getting mixed up because I remember
this was definitely match of the night. It was up there with something else.
No, Jonah v Ishii was on a different show. It's my bad. I'm getting mixed up. The Multiverse of Matches match was Ishii versus Eddie Edwards. Yeah, but we've seen Ishii v Jonah.
Eddie Edwards. Gross.
We've seen.
It's so boring.
We've seen Ishii v Jonah before on an Impact match.
Sorry, mate. I want to talk about Paige in AEW. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So for this prediction, if what Tanvir says is correct and he hasn't just gotten confused with 50 other different shows that are happening, and Jonah is facing Okada soon, then obviously Jonah Rock is going to win because this sets up the storyline because Okada's just had the biggest loss against Tito. And also, he's got mind games going on with John Moxley having run in, as well as Zack Zodiac, Keith Lee, Swerve, The Undertaker.
That is a lot of running.
He doesn't know who's going to run in next. So Excellent. He's not going to be on his game. He's actually going to lose to Jonah as well. So Jonah's going to pick up 2 wins.
SilentMark, the Battle of the Kaijus. Who you got?
I think that Jonah will look like he's going to win, and then Bray Wyatt is going to run in. And again, fuck it.
I like how you've embraced the shithousery of this podcast so quickly. I love it.
Have you met me?
Yeah, no. I think you're all being absolutely ridiculous, and obviously the only person who would legitimately run in is the Big Show, and he will cost both men the match, and it will be a double count out.
Right.
In the main event, Tetsuya Naito, the leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón, versus Zack Sabre Jr. Potentially main event. I don't fucking know.
I think because of what I said before, I think Sabre Jr. will win this one. Ospreay will lose first night. Sabre will win the second night for the pop.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Saber. So Zack Sabre Jr. winning.
Cam, there you go.
Yeah, I think this one's pretty easy to call. So I reckon the match is gonna be about to start, and then Triple H is gonna walk out and announce that he's bought New Japan.
Oh my fucking
Add
God.
Logan Paul and make it a triple threat, and Logan Paul is gonna win and become the new NXT Japan champion.
No, I don't think so, because I think
Japan champion.
just as Logan Paul goes in for the pin, Vince McMahon comes out.
and sends Austin Theory to finally cash in his money in the bank.
For fuck's sake, that was going to be my joke, you fucking asshole. Right, well, I'm going to take this seriously and say that Stephanie McMahon interferes and costs Tetsuya Naito, therefore leading to her joining Suzuki-gun.
Is it too early to mention Benoit, or is that?
Jesus.
It's never too early to mention redacted.
Does this mean this? Is it this?
Yeah, we're throwing up the X.
Oh, what have we got an X?
The golden
already?
scissors.
Oh, fuck's sake. All right, Chris Benoit to resurrect and kill both men in a double murder suicide.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes, we know there's a Netflix series out. We will discuss it. That's not any other business. Patience. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to actually discuss some fucking news. Hopefully you enjoyed our incredibly thorough and highly integral journalistic viewpoint of New Japan. Next. So, not a great deal of news. Anyone see AEW Grand Slam last week?
No. No,
So Paige made her debut, known, of course, by her real name of Saraya. Saraya Knight. She made her debut in AEW. Just a quick bit of news, really. Good fit for AEW. Do you want to see her wrestle? Do you want to see her manage? And ultimately, is it a good move for her to be signed full-time at AEW?
I think it is a good call to have her on their roster, definitely. I think... Yeah, just marketability wise, you know, the film came out, Fighting With My Family, and like I've got like aunts and uncles who are like, yeah, I watched that film, I loved it, I was like moved to tears. So like she's like a household name, at least I think over here. A lot of people know who she is, so I think definitely worth having on the books. I don't know if I want to see her wrestle. I just think as long as like the doctors have cleared it, then sure, but I don't want to see, you know, a Randy the Ram situation going on. I watched a wrestler today, so that's my reference to that.
That is a wonderful film. I only finally watched it about 3 weeks ago. Beautiful film. Absolutely beautiful. It explains why we do what we do in the wrestling business. Yeah, what do you think, boys? Paige, aka Saraya at AEW, good for business?
I'd say so. It'd give a spark to the women's division, if you want to call it that, in AEW. You've got huge names in WWE, but the names aren't as big in AEW from my side of it as a like non-fan, if you will. But I think her going into it will give it a proper kick up the ass.
I'm gonna play it safe and say let's see where it goes, because initially I was like, okay. Yeah, because initially I was like, okay, what does she add to the product? But now hearing Cam's argument and now Mark's argument, I'm kind of like swayed of like, okay, let's actually see where this goes. Let's see what her role is going to be in the company. Let's not like shit on it just initially. So I'm like, let me see where it goes now that Cam's like kind of swayed me.
I've always rated her as a wrestler. She wrestled up in Morecambe one year. And she went down fucking amazing. And she was one of the people that properly got me into the women's division because of how hard she was going. She wasn't a pin-up. She wasn't anything like that. She was just fucking brutal.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it. And that's, it helped bring the women's division up. And I think that's a really good fit for AEW at the moment. As long as she hits as hard as she did.
Yeah. She's great in the ring. Not gonna like downplay that. I've like absolutely love her in the ring, but it's like Cam said, it's like, if hopefully she's cleared and everything, like Edge, then I'll happily see her in the ring. But at the moment, if she hasn't been cleared or anything, just gonna see where it goes. Because if it's in a managing capacity, it's like, okay, we saw how she was with the Kabuki Warriors, and we've seen her in a general manager role before on SmackDown. So it's like, okay, if she's in a manager role, who's she going to be managing, and what does she bring to AEW in a managing capacity other than in a training sense? Because we know she'll be a wonderful like trainer for the women's division, along with Madison Rain, who I think is their head trainer.
I think select. Oh, sorry, Mark Karen.
No, I was just going to say, I think that they didn't, that WWE haven't had as good a manager in either SmackDown or Raw than when Paige was on it, because of her character, because of who she is. She played it up so well. So I think whoever she manages at that point, it would be fucking amazing.
Well, yeah, to sort of tap on that, Fightful Select sources indicates Saraya has signed a 3-year contract with the company. Additionally, the report claims that the amount of money it was signed for largely implies that she will be wrestling in some capacity with AEW, but that cannot be confirmed at this time. It's good for business, providing how they book her. Problem is that their women's division is trash and hasn't been booked properly for the best part of 3 years.
I hope she brings the family in. She just brought all the knights. That'd be mad, wouldn't it?
Would be pretty crazy, yeah. I think this might be Zack Zodiac's chance to get signed.
I really hope it happens, just because I feel like, he's been grinding so hard. He's in tremendous shape at the moment. I really think I want it to happen so bad. I think it might happen. Please, can this happen? Because I feel like he's a name that people know. If they've seen the film, they know who he is. But he's not someone that is, been signed to like one specific place, I guess, where it's been that he's a, WWE guy, he's an Impact guy or whatever. So he could be really fresh talent, I think, in AEW.
I'm going to quickly fantasy book here. So AEW next year, Craven Cottage, picture it. Got AEW and Craven Cottage. Zack Zodiac.
Not happening.
Okay. Well, AEW UK show then.
We can dream.
Just a UK. Just
Craven
a UK
Cottage
show.
is not going to host an AEW show.
Fair enough.
Craven Cottage is going to host an AEW show. So it's going to happen. So Zack Zodiac's going to main event, and we're all going to be there for it, cheering.
So it's going to be an AEW UK show. Zack Zodiac's going to be booked on the card, and then out comes, say, Saraya, and with the contract, gives it to him and says, "Here you go." And it will be the big crowd pop of the night, and it's like, yeah, he's finally got that big moment.
If that happens, I'll cry.
It'd fucking work.
Funny.
It would fucking work.
If that actually were to happen, I would bawl my eyes out. That would be incredible.
And then just when you think he's about to sign a contract, John Moxley does the run in and knocks him out.
John Moxley
McMahon comes in and goes,
all
"No,
over
it's
the
not."
contract.
Exactly. Now that is TV, mate. Good for business. Like, let's just hope they know what they're fucking doing for once, because as we know, Tony Khan is a massive gimp. The viral white rabbit is thundering around. Anyone see the videos from Raw? I posted them on the Wrestle Plug social media for anyone who may not have seen them. So this QR code flashed up while Dominic interfered in Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio's match, and there was also a QR code attached to the announce table. If you scan these in the brief moments that are on the screen, they come up with white rabbit stuff, referring to the term of killing the world, which of course has everyone rampant and ready for a Bray Wyatt return. But the big question is it Bray Wyatt, or are we all going to be severely disappointed and it's going to be someone else, like maybe Buddy Murphy?
The planet's champion, Daniel Bryan.
No?
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it because I properly rate Bray Wyatt, like massively so. The Firefly Funhouse that he was doing was perfect for him. Then they got rid of him. They've not properly known what to do with him until then, and then they fucked it off because he went off for a bit.
Would you say that at the time Bray Wyatt was arguably the most surprising and biggest release for WWE? because
Yes.
that kind of came out of nowhere. Of like, okay,
Mhm.
you've got this awesome guy, awesome character, I think bigger merch sales than Roman Reigns, and then he's just gone, and it's like, what? Like,
Mhm.
just out of nowhere, just gone.
And directly after Brody
definitely
dying
agree.
as well.
Yeah.
No, I fully agree. That was the most shocking one for me. I think actually me and Nix were we were chilling in Haven. Actually, I think we were like outside the Meridian or something when we just like read the news when it came up. So like you talk about people remembering where they were when 9/11 happened. I remember where I was when Bray Wyatt got released.
Keep it light, mate. Fucking hell.
Cam,
Yo,
where were you when the Queen died?
I was
Fucking
just
fellas.
working. I was at work.
I was watching the Arsenal match.
I was at Windsor Castle. I'm
Yeah, but
already
she
in
was at
trouble. I can
Balamory,
feel
wasn't she?
I don't know. Well, you would know apparently.
Did you
Inside job.
Did you say Balamori?
Yeah.
We'll leave it with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I was probably watching Heartbeat or something. I have no idea. Just to reiterate, I had nothing to do with the Queen's death, and of course, there's nothing funny about our longest reigning monarch passing away. Lol. I'm just an arsehole. I don't care. So
Well, it
let's
depends
move
how it
on.
happened.
Hey,
Depends how it happened.
What, Final Destination style?
No, it's like she fell down the stairs with a plate of jelly or something. That'd be funny.
She done a
Jeez.
Gail Platt. Andrew pushed her down the stairs.
Yeah.
oh fucking no way! Not with the amount of money that was paid to fucking cover up his bullshit. Like he would be the one person who try and catch her, surely. Surely. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it too soon to fucking talk about the fact that Prince Andrew is a fucking nonce? How about that?
To be fair,
Fucking-
it is a crazy amount of money. Like even Vince McMahon's like, Jesus, that's quite a
That's
bit.
enough
I'm
hush
still of
money.
the opinion that Vince McMahon got shortchanged in his hush money scandal.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he could have just not done it.
Vince got
Alright.
bored of Linda though.
Yeah, but there are other options, Tanvir. You don't have to just start sexually harassing the employees if you get bored of your wife. There are other options out there.
Really? I just thought that was par for the course in this country. Like, how very disappointed.
I was hoping for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fucking. I mean, sexual harassment, mate. It's just part and parcel of the workplace, apparently.
Mate, if Vince, if he was really that bored of Linda, he could have given me a call. We could have gone down patterns, but he's made his own bed, so he can lie in it now.
Are you suggesting that you would take Vince McMahon out clubbing?
Yep.
Incredible. I will pay to see that. What a watch along that would be.
That's a fucking
Absolutely.
New
sitcom and a
network
half,
special.
innit?
Him just fucking smashing the WKDs down, grinding on some fucking middle-aged birds. I'm down for that, mate. Absolutely. While Demon Cam is in the corner, macking off. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. So Shawn Michaels was asked whether indie talents would be eligible for signing for WWE, because when Vince McMahon was in charge, when they were redeveloping the NXT brand to make it NXT 2.0, there was a very strong suggestion and rumor that they were no longer going to be looking at signing independent talents. And apparently Shawn Michaels has squashed that rumor and has said that we are still very happy to sign independent talents if they're right for the company, which leads to my great question here, which everyone can get involved in. Who from the British independent scene should be signed by WWE the most?
Ooh.
I have lists.
Go for
Again, I will only go by people I've seen and I've worked with. I would go Harley Hudson. I would go Alexis Falcon. I'd go Scotty Rourke. And I would go 2-Bit at the moment as well.
2-Bit, who's just been announced for a Progress show, which is
Yes.
very fucking cool.
Yes, but all four of them are fucking amazing. Not bringing any of the other talent down, but those four are fucking hard. And
In my opinion, the MC game needs stepping up in NXT in particular, so I would suggest SilentMark to NXT 2.0.
No, because you want something professional. You don't want
This is
someone
Martin.
forgetting the wrestlers' names.
That's exactly what I want.
You don't want someone that gets confused on a run-in and announces the run-in as the winner of a match.
Does the suggestions include like NXT UK talents? Because even though they don't really
Because
sound
most of them are turning up at this point.
okay. Because I was gonna say Shaw Samuels, but okay, fair enough. Then
wrestling in Kent this weekend, actually, just down the road.
oh nice.
But Hammerlock, they return. He's wrestling Doug Williams, I believe.
Because I don't know British indies too well, I'm gonna say Cameron Anderson should be signed by WWE.
Thank you. And yes, I will accept this contract offer. And I'll report to the Performance Center on Monday for my training.
Well, you won't because it's closed because of Hurricane Ian. So unless you've got some sort of extra ability to fucking get rid of an actual disaster, I would suggest maybe waiting a few days before rocking up.
I'm gonna suggest someone else. Lunatrix.
Fucking sucker.
Nah,
honestly.
Friends.
nah, because they said we don't want to hire people over 25, like let alone 45. Like we can't have that.
Mudgy. I am extremely happy with that snipe. That's the good shit right there. Cool. I'm trying to think. There's loads of guys who have the talent, who have the capability. But right now I'm at a loss, really. There's so many guys I work with. KM Lane would be fantastic. I think he's got such an incredible amount of potential, great body, great look, very different to any other wrestler. I'd love to see Sheik El Sham get a shot. I think he's got the size and the power as well. Nadia Sapphire would be fantastic, especially in the valet position as well. There's just not enough good managers in the game. I'd love to see someone like an Aaron Warnes get an opportunity as well. I think he's got infinite amounts of talent. Genuinely, if it was an NXT UK brand, I'd love to see Ebenezer on there. I feel like he'd be fantastic on that. Got the charisma.
There's one name who I want to shout out.
Mayfair's obviously I want to bomb as well.
There's one name who I think would be a brilliant fit for WWE, Jordan Said.
Jordan Said's perfect, and also he fills that beautiful diversity quota as well.
I think he'd be brilliant in WWE.
Middle Eastern representation is important to me, and we've seen how much they drop the ball with like Mustafa Ali and other gimmicks where they've just kind of gone for the full head rag experience and stuff like that, and just gone down that horrible racial stereotype. So it'd be nice to see some modern influences, especially now that they have these Saudi Arabia shows as well. It would give them much more of an opportunity to bolster their roster and give people an opportunity to see fresh talents from the different worlds of wrestling. Doesn't necessarily mean they have to be a white British individual. There's so many different people of great diversity and great diverse backgrounds that could be used in that company. So, yeah, I mean, it's good. It looks like they've really freshened things up anyway. Raw's been really good lately. SmackDown's been excellent. The Sami Zayn thing is absolutely on fire.
I love it.
Gimmick, the honorary Uce thing, the segment with Roman Reigns on SmackDown where he gave him
good.
That was absolutely
good.
The bloodline stuff has been phenomenal. It's firing on all cylinders. Very, very good time to be a wrestling fan because everyone is trying to throw out their best stuff. And to be fair, I did watch AEW Grand Slam from start to finish. Some things were a bit iffy, but overall, probably one of the better things I've seen AEW do in the past year or two. Excellent stuff. Really good show, especially the Acclaimed being tag team champions. Very pleased about that. And obviously, Paige bit arriving. Bryan Danielson and John Moxley had an excellent match, I thought. MJ absolutely on fire.
There was great Muta as well.
Yeah.
It was cool because Muta's
like 80 though. Like I don't care.
But he's properly retiring next year, so that's why they're like hyping it up of like, oh no, it's kind of like
is this like Terry Funk where he
Muto's even said, because Muto's done it in the past where he's like retired and come out, he said no, this one for sure, this is it, like after this he's done.
He's no Tajiri though, isn't he? Let's be honest, mate.
Tajiri's killing it in All Japan. I think he's doing All Japan.
Yeah, he's been smashing it, to be fair. What do we think about... So let's talk about Bobby Fish just briefly. So Bobby Fish, obviously, his AEW contract has finally come to an end. Two sides were unable to come to terms on a new deal. Fightful reported that the split was said to be amicable until AEW caught wind of Fish's comments on the CM Punk situation following the All Out pay-per-view. Essentially, for anyone who didn't see, Bobby Fish wrote this very long soliloquy online stating that he'd like to have an actual full-on MMA fight with CM Punk on TV. Now, some rumors have come out that he apparently tried to sway Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole to leave AEW based on the lack of professionalism. He has squashed those rumors and said that's absolute nonsense. Come on his podcast and said that's not true, and that people like Adam and Kyle and Hunter, obviously referred to Triple H, who obviously had a close relationship with in NXT as part of Undisputed Era, know better than that, and also that he was disappointed that Jim Cornette also believed all the nonsense that was coming out about him. But does he have a point? Should Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly leave AEW?
They've got to do they've got to do what's best for them. I think Kyle O'Reilly should leave because I feel like every time that a Kyle O'Reilly singles run's been teased, it's been snatched away. So I feel like
he's intrinsically linked to Adam Cole, and I feel like he needs Adam Cole. But the thing is, like, NXT were brave enough to stick him in the ring in singles matches
and
against
he's
guys
so
like
good
and stuff, and it was masterful. It really was, and he actually was a decent promo as well. I personally don't think anyone from Undisputed Era has reached that level of entertainment or that level of quality since going to AEW.
Oh no, absolutely not. It's because as a unit they had so much cohesion, and then as soon as you bring them in, you stick them with the elite. You do this all silly stuff. It's like, no, yes, we know Adam Cole and the Young Bucks are friends, but keep them separate. Just it's a silly situation, and the thing is, I think Adam Cole should stay in AEW because I feel he feels more comfortable and would thrive there more. But I think Kyle O'Reilly should leave because I feel Kyle O'Reilly would fill in a void in NXT and in WWE, because I feel WWE don't have like that kind of guy who can do the entertaining stuff, can do the technical wrestling, can do the strikes, and the thing is with Kyle is he's a type 1 diabetic, so he's got that to him as well of like, oh, look at this guy who's a type 1 diabetic who can do all this stuff. It's an incredible story. So I feel Kyle O'Reilly would be better fit in WWE.
I'm sorry, I found that way too funny.
Fair enough, my man. Fair enough.
It's just
diabetes. Amusing.
It's no, it's not that he's got diabetes. Just he'd be really, really good in WWE because he's all these things, and he's a diabetic. So that's also something on his side.
I like the fact he puts that on his CV under his like fucking job experience, type 1 diabetic.
Because there's always the danger of, will he need a Mars bar?
I mean, yeah, he can't do those Snickers adverts. Can you imagine if they did that? That'd be fucking insensitive, wouldn't it? Can't eat a Snickers. He just eats it and drops dead. That's like, all right, cut.
No, it's just it's probably the best way to to tease a match. He comes out, goes, "Oh, I'm going to kick the fuck out of you." Someone comes up to him with a walnut whip and just goes, "Oh, I fucking don't think so, mate."
I kind of want now an intergender match between Kyle O'Reilly and Candy Floss.
I want to see a walnut whip on a fucking like hanging suspended above the ring, and there's a lad match. And every time the whole idea of the match isn't to grab it, it's to stop Carl getting it. Carl's like,
no,
it's like, get your ass back out of here.
Even better. You fill them full of curly whirlies and shit before the match, and then it's a ladder match for insulin. That's what you want. Incredible.
That sounds more like a saw trap. That sounds more like a saw trap of like, we've pumped you full of it. The first one to grab the insulin.
I think that's the point, Tanvir.
Live or die, make your choice.
Yeah. So, no one said it was not meant to be torture.
Now I'm imagining
you're missing the point of this joke.
Now I'm imagining Vince McMahon on a tiny unicycle just wheeling it around like, live or die, make your choice.
Face all painted and shit. Yeah. Although knowing Vince, it would be blackface because he'd totally totally not get the film
Look
reference.
Look at me, I'm R-Truth, pal. Oh, Dear, oh dear. Wow, I love how when things get a little bit too uncomfortable, Cameron Anderson's face changes. He's like, I really hope my trainers don't see this. Bless his heart. Unfortunately, despite all this hilarity, we do have some sad news to report. Ring announcer Dan Masters sadly passed away this week. Women of Wrestling ring announcer Dan Masters, real name Daniel Henry, sadly passed away earlier this week. His niece took to Facebook and left a touching tribute to him, saying, "Rest in peace to a remarkable, larger-than-life man, my Uncle Daniel. As a kid, he made me feel like the coolest person on this planet, talking on the radio, getting woken up by phone calls from famous wrestlers and shout-outs at his wrestling events. He was the star of the show everywhere he went, but made me feel special. He was taken too soon and will be missed tremendously by the people who knew and loved him." Henry was traveling in El Salvador yesterday when he was reportedly involved in a car accident that would unfortunately prove to be fatal. He had more than 20 years under his belt in the industry, working for companies like Deep South Wrestling, PCW Ultra, and most frequently Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, as well as being a boxing and MMA commentator and an on-air radio host and announcer for iHeartRadio. Resident of Long Beach, California, Henry was born in Georgia and worked as an interim for Dusty Rhodes Turnbuckle's Championship Wrestling in the early days of his career. Just a few weeks ago, Henry shared that he hoped to one day write a book about his time in the wrestling industry, and the current reboot of Women of Wrestling would be the highlight. And sadly, that will not be the case. An incredible announcer, to be fair, somebody that I have modeled a lot of my stuff on, so he will obviously be very tragically missed from the wrestling world, and we send our condolences. That's pretty much it for news. Tanvir, you've been floating around on the internet. I know you love to throw in your little news topics. Is there anything you found that you would like to talk about?
I didn't find anything at all. Covered everything, and as you, yeah, nothing.
Cool. And then, in which case, we go for the complete rerun of the pre-show for Odyssey Pro Wrestling's Panic Stations. Let's get into it.
We do. That is in a couple
Get
of
your
days.
ass on the podcast.
Yes, Ethan. Fucking do
But
it.
only with SilentMark. He almost worded it like, so, full disclosure, we had SilentMark on, fantastic one-on-one interview, truly a legendary human being. It's great to listen to his story, and he's obviously very entertaining, as you know, as he wouldn't be on here. But we discussed the upcoming show that is this weekend, I believe, of course, Panic Stations from Odyssey, Odyssey Pro Wrestling up in Morecambe. And I believe Ethan is the owner, or at least the commissioner / general manager, whatever you want to call him. And he basically worded it in a sense of, I kind of feel like I need to come on the podcast and kind of correct anything that SilentMark might have got wrong in the build-up to it. But for me, it very much sounded like, my apologies, I allowed the individual that I'm the care worker for to escape the funny farm and come on your podcast. So
That's
maybe
pretty
I
much
need
it.
to follow him around.
That's pretty much it. The basics of it is, because I've said throughout it that I wasn't sure on the background of some people, that it just wanted to kind of get, but it was the background of Alexander Gray. I got that completely wrong, apparently.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
so
enough.
I apologize to Alexander Gray.
I just like Cameron Anderson's face right now because he's sitting there going, Odyssey Pro Wrestling. So he can try and flag a booking.
Come up.
I can't even spell Odyssey, so
that's not a good start if the promoter watches
neither
this,
can
buddy.
I, mate. Neither can I. There is a change from the conversation we had on the podcast a few weeks ago. Big Guns Joe is no longer in the 5-way match. So instead, Sam Bailey has organized it to be a tag team match. JJ Webb and Sandy Beach versus Sam Bailey and Rob Drake.
Cameron Anderson, what do you think about the name Sandy Beach?
that is up there, to be honest. That is a good one.
It is a good name. But it's going to be interesting because Sam Bailey has always been a heel. He's always been unpleasant to the Morecambe fans. Rob Drake, the opposite. So seeing them two in a team together would be quite interesting.
An interesting clash of diversity. It's time for any other business, ladies and gentlemen. What have we been watching? What have we been doing? Anything you want to talk about? This is the portion where SilentMark comes alive.
I watched the latest Scream.
Oh, how was that?
Oh shit, mate.
I enjoyed it, actually, to be honest. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, but you're also 12.
That is true.
I went and saw Smile. That was good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'm
Smile
curious
was-
about that one.
It was really good. A couple of good time jumps. Have you seen The Boys?
Nope, still haven't watched that.
I've started watching it again because I stopped watching it, then I started watching it again.
The actor who plays A Train is in Smile.
What, Prince
Nice.
Albert?
No, not Albert, unfortunately. And I
I'm very
think
disappointed.
yeah. I also watched and finished off this morning Schindler's List.
But you just wake up and
jokes
think,
that have been made at that film's expense.
It's leaving Netflix on Friday, so I'm like, I
You
should
have this
see
thing,
this.
don't you, where you watch everything that's leaving Netflix.
I leave things that are leaving.
What did you watch today, Tanvir?
Today I
Right
watched.
before this podcast started, what did you finish watching?
Oh, I finished watching Sleepless in Seattle.
Did you enjoy that?
Not really.
What is it about?
It's about this man whose wife recently died, and he's with the kid, and his kid calls a telephone station, and they call, and all these women want to meet him, and there's this lady who really, really wants to meet him, and then in the end they meet, and it's
Wow,
really
sounds like the Kyle Wilkinson story. Kyle Wilkinson biopic.
But does this man who doesn't get any sleep in Seattle, does he have type 1 diabetes?
It's Tom Hanks, so I don't know.
Tom Hanks. Who's
Yeah.
who's the woman who's interested in meeting him? Who plays that? Is it
It's
Jennifer?
Meg Ryan.
It's Meg Ryan.
No clue.
I also
You don't know who Meg Ryan is?
No, I know who Meg Ryan is. I just don't know the film. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
Have you seen You Got Mail?
No.
I haven't seen that. That's leaving
It's-
Amazon Prime soon.
It's basically another version of You Got Mail.
Oh, okay.
Although Sleepers in Seattle was first, so technically
I
it's
have
not.
seen You've Got Male Genitalia, the porn film, if that helps.
Oh my fucking God, what the fuck?
What a
It's
movie
spin-off
that is
of
as
the
well.
film.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is
Sick.
good. It's basically a load of, how dare you try and get rid of my bookshop? Just a lot of that.
That fucking hand motion is incredible. I'm gonna have to bring the brightness up on your screen just for that. That is incredible.
I also
Incredible. You should do that at the next show. That'd be amazing.
It's a family show, mate.
Exactly.
I watched
Sex
Breakfast.
education.
Yeah. I watched Breakfast at Tiffany's as well.
That's
Good
really
film.
good.
Good film.
Yeah,
Right.
it was,
I've not
yeah, it
seen
was
that
good.
one.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm.
I really enjoyed Audrey Hepburn. Rest in peace. Amazing
I
actress.
want to ask SilentMark a question. Have you seen the film Joker with Joaquin Phoenix?
Yes, I have.
What did you think of
Mute
it?
mute him now.
I liked it.
So Cam believes that film to be incredibly mid and overrated.
Ooh, it depends. It depends who you're talking to be honest. If they're the same people properly wanking over Heath Ledger, then I'm thinking, yeah, it's probably not that good. But it's still a very good film. Very different style of Joker than something I'm used to. I'm a big Batman fan in the best of times. Not Mark Hamill, which I will always think of as the pinnacle Joker. But it definitely a good film. Very good drama and very good kind of
It
thought about mental health issues and all that shit.
it feels like a social commentary more than
Very
anything.
much so. I'd say it's more that than anything
That's probably
else.
why Cameron Anderson finds it mid, because he doesn't know what a social commentary is.
No, but to be fair, they do the
To be
whole
fair.
thing where he's like, "Oh, I've got to, I've got to pretend to not have a mental illness," but then he embraces his mental illness by just murdering people in the street. So I don't think that's probably the best message to send.
So what you're
It's
saying is you
the-
actually have
the-
an issue, not with
but-
the way the film is presented, but actually the
But
content.
Cam, you've got to think about it. He killed those people because, like he said, those were just three rich kids. And like people are going mental over the killing of them. If someone like him were to die, nobody would care. So that's why it's like, yeah, that's why he killed them, because it's like, look how much bigger fuss when people like me are dying every day and you don't bat an eye. When these three rich kids die, you're all losing your minds.
It's not
That is
it's,
actually
yeah.
good. That is a good
Basically, Cameron Anderson is a Tory supporter. That's what I'm getting.
No, I'm not a Tory supporter. I just didn't like the movie.
Fucking right
Okay.
wing tosser.
I'm not a right winger. Okay. I just
Not
didn't
enough
like the film where
explosions
the
for you.
clown shoots
Yeah,
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, not enough fucking 9/11s in there for him, is there?
Is there not enough kicking? Not enough kicking of poor people.
Yeah.
Just go see a Michael Bay film.
He murdered like 3 homeless people. Cameron Anderson was like, oh yeah, definitely fucking 5 stars, mate. Melts a classic, Tokyo Dome, brilliant.
And they say that a hero. Yeah, Cam,
Although
just
I
go
did
watch a
watch a
Michael
bit
Bay.
of I watched a bit of American Psycho, and that film is so funny.
Ooh, amazing.
It's not
That film
meant
is
to be
so-
funny.
Yeah, it is. It's poking fun at the yuppie lifestyle.
Hey, Cam,
What?
it's hip to be square.
That is true. It is hip to be square. No, I think the funniest line in that is when he just kills Jared Leto's character, and then he goes into Jared Leto's apartment.
Shame you didn't turn
And he
up at
goes-
Suicide Squad then.
And the narrating is like, I have a moment of sheer panic when I realized that Jared Leto's apartment overlooks the park and is therefore more expensive than mine. I think it's so funny how he just cares about appearances.
I think my favorite scene in all of American Psycho, and I did I think like an essay on it in film studies, is the card scene where they're all like talking about their different cards.
Oh yeah, the card scene is good.
Yeah, and it's like that, and it's like what some people comment is it's like they're comparing dick size but with their cards.
Yeah. I don't know really what it says about the movie, but I also like when the ATM says "Feed me a stray cat." I think that's quite funny.
Who did I
Fair enough. Anyone see the Black Adam trailer?
I've seen
No.
it. I've seen it
I've
way
seen
too
it a
many
billion times.
because we go to the cinema, so we've seen it a fuck ton of times.
I won't watch
Yeah,
it.
it's on before literally everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it.
I won't watch the trailer.
Oh, fair enough.
I've decided now when I'm not going to watch trailers. I'm going to try and avoid them as much as possible. I'll watch vague teasers, but I won't watch a trailer because it'll give everything away.
Yeah,
not
I
a fan
agree,
of Rock
actually.
being casted as Black Adam. Don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
I'm under. I'm not as clued up with comics and stuff, so you'll be able to help me out here, Mark, if you know much about Black Adam. I'm told that he is an Arabian character. Is that correct?
So what it is with Black Adam, he's an Egyptian character, and he's basically a slave, and his family, I think his family was killed, and he gets the power of Shazam. But
Is that why he's
Yeah.
got a lightning bolt on his chest?
Yeah,
Yep.
because he's the power of Shazam. So
Okay.
it's kind of like, so I'm kind of with you of like, he's an Egyptian character, yet they cast Dwayne Johnson.
They cast a Samoan. So now I don't have a problem with The Rock getting his money, and I think he's a pretty good actor all in all. He's very good at action roles, at least. I wouldn't say he's like he's not fucking Tom Hanks. He's not, who insert great actor, Anthony Hopkins, whoever. But he can do roles like that really well. What fucks me off is the hypocrisy. Me and Mark actually spoke on our first podcast on Silent Death Machine about snowflakes. Now, one of the big movements I've seen, particularly in media, is this idea of having the correct ethnicity to cover a character. A good example is BoJack Horseman. The character that is Diane is actually a Vietnamese immigrant who lives in America. And I think it's Alison Brie voice.
Alison Brie, yeah.
Came out and apologized and said, I should have allowed a Vietnamese individual to do that role. Same with the role of Missy in Big Mouth. Now, I know these are animations, so it's a little bit different, but it has been a big thing across media of we need to cast the correct people. I take it as a slight, and maybe that's me being a snowflake, I don't know, but I take it as a slight that because it's an Arab character, nobody gives a fuck that they got a giant Samoan guy to do it. And what I want is consistency. If you're going to say that about everything else, like I don't personally have a problem with The Rock playing him, but don't fucking come crying at me. Oh, they didn't represent the Vietnamese culture and all that. And they didn't represent African Americans properly. They didn't represent Chinese, whatever it might be. But then all of a sudden it's like, it's an Arab, so it doesn't matter because they're all terrorists anyway. Just seems a bit cheap to me.
Yeah, no, I understand.
No good Arabian actors in this world. Get fucked, mate.
Yeah.
It's just a bit.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I
I think that's
agree.
nonsense. I think that's bullshit. And for me, it's not necessarily about him being cast. It's the consistency of our arguments over and over and over. And the thing is, I'm going to take it personally. I have two little sisters that are both Muslims. And what a terrible fucking message to send to them. Very peaceful, very loving individuals, very caring, like most people who follow Islam, because the people who obviously, unfortunately, queer the field are extremists. They're not actually following that religion, you know, to the letter or to the law, however you want to present it. But I just think it's a terrible message to Islamic culture in general of, yeah, we're going to get upset about every race, but not yours. You lot can fuck off.
I think that's one thing. As much as
I look forward to being on GB News this week and being told I'm a wanker by Nigel.
now, as much as we may shit on it, I think that's one thing that Marvel does right, is that the majority of their castings they have on point in terms of that representation and stuff. So
yeah, they had an alcoholic play Iron Man. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, the comic from a comic.
Tell me he isn't a Playboy alcoholic.
Yeah, from a comic standpoint, it's like, yeah, that's who Tony Stark is.
Yeah. That being said, what do we think about a Little Mermaid, the Little Mermaid casting? And obviously they've used, I believe, an African American actress for that. Does anyone?
Yeah, that doesn't matter though, does it?
That doesn't matter.
I feel like her race isn't intrinsically linked to the character.
Yeah,
I think
Black Adam.
Yeah, like I personally don't care, but then I also feel that maybe some people might use that argument with me. They might say, "Well, hang about, why aren't you getting pissy about the Little Mermaid being white because she's intrinsically white in the source material?"
Mm-hmm. I think if the source of Black Adam, as you guys were saying, if he's an Egyptian slave, and having be played by a Samoan man, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. It's like it depends on the backstory. It totally depends on the backstory and the history of the character. It's like having Shang-Chi played by Ryan Reynolds. You know, he'd do a good job, but that's not the fucking point. Whereas
we're not having Ryan Gosling as Black Panther, are we?
Like, yeah, exactly. Like,
but now that you've said it,
people kicking off that James Bond could be a black man at some point is pointless, because there are black and white people in the UK, and it doesn't fucking matter, because being white wasn't that's his background. Yeah,
I want Indian Bond.
Yeah, they kicked off because Daniel Craig was blonde. So
exactly. There's never.
I don't know why we're so. You know why? Because that is intrinsically representative of Her Majesty the Queen and British culture. The spy culture has always been intrinsically linked with, you know, Her Majesty's Royal Service, all that kind of stuff. And people just assume that has to be a white thing. Yep. They, you know, you look how much pushback there was in America over a black president, and because they haven't had one before. But you don't get to shatter boundaries and change the notions and the conversations of what you're doing by having the same thing over and over.
I mean, Bond has source material in Ian Fleming's book, so if you read that and then see the description, if there is a description, bro, I've never read the book.
You know what? I've read all of the Bond books, and you know what? He is nothing like, he's never represented properly, actually, by any of the actual actors from Sean Connery all the way through. The closest is probably Timothy Dalton.
Okay, so
yeah, I think I've read a Casino Royale. I think he's described as being like Hoagie Carmichael, is it?
Yeah, he's
described as looking like.
Yeah, he's incredibly like visceral, but also like very kind of, he's not like the way that he is portrayed in the books. He's not this glamorous, beautiful womanizer. He's a very desperate, uncomfortable, very damaged individual, you know, with mental health issues and things like that. And obviously that's not going to work as well, is it, for a suave spy? So they've taken liberties with that.
That's okay. But would you say
that?
Yeah, would you say, like, in the books though, that like Bond is like described as like he's a white male, or
not really? That's not on at all. Like, it's more a case of his character traits. Like, he actually has scarring as well.
Because
represented in the
because that was going to be my point of, like, if Bond is like in the books, like said, like just straight blanket statement of like he's a white male or he looks like this white male, then it's like, then kind of Bond has to be a white male. But if there's no description or anything in the book, it's up to interpretation. Bond can be black.
Yeah, I think as well how it has updated over time. So Daniel Craig, his portrayal of Bond is nothing like the books. Roger Moore's is nothing like Daniel Craig's. So I think if we can change around this character, we can, it's like clay in our hands. We can play with it. I've not got no problem with a black James Bond.
Someone made an amazing point. So in the later Pierce Brosnan films, M was played by Judi Dench.
Mm.
Then when Daniel Craig came along, M was played by Judi Dench again.
Mm.
But still James Bond, but it's early James Bond.
Mm.
So then Casino Royale happens and all that type of stuff. Someone put it down as James Bond and 007, both of them are code names.
Mm.
So they are physically changing person every single time because the James Bond dies.
Okay.
I'm not subscribed to this theory. I think Daniel Craig is like a separate continuity, his stuff. But if you watch what is it? On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is George Lazenby, and a spoiler alert for a 40-year-old movie, but he gets married at the end and his wife is killed, Tracy,
which happens in the book.
There's a and at the start of I think For Your Eyes Only with Roger Moore, he lays flowers at Teresa Bond's grave.
Nice.
It's sort of
Nice
implied
stuff.
to be the same woman.
Is
And
that
then in,
not?
License...
Ah, right. So is that not the new James Bond giving thanks to the old James Bond, but considering the old James Bond was a spy, he doesn't have a grave. So the nearest thing to it is hers.
Mm.
That is interesting, actually. You could look at it that way.
I've only just thought of that,
personally,
so that hasn't been an argument before.
Who
That's
is the
quite
worst
clever.
James Bond?
Oh,
I'm just a quick punch. I'm in awe that Cam damn near nailed On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's 53. So you're
53.
like, yeah. So it's like 54.
Did
I'm
you
like,
any more autistic in this moment?
no, I was just damn near amazed. I was like, yo, that's awesome.
yeah, close enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, Cameron is very slowly but surely developing a brain. It is an alarming theory for the Wrestle Plug, but it is what it is.
I really like James Bond, so I've seen most.
Yeah,
of
I
them.
do. I love James Bond.
I love Bond.
Sean Connery movies were some of the first movies I ever saw as a kid. I love them. I think they're incredible. I love Dr. No, especially Goldfinger.
Dr. No.
I
Thunderball.
think Mission Impossible is up there. I
Yeah.
love spy films, so
I love
Same.
Moonraker. I have a soft spot for Moonraker.
Moonraker's good. I think actually very underrated.
There's not many
GoldenEye,
Bond
mate.
movies that I remember being shit.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye for me is one of the best.
Oh yeah.
GoldenEye is amazing.
Just for that film was an awakening for me.
Mm.
Just because of that woman in it. I forget her name.
What, Xenia on a top?
Yes, her. That was an
The
awakening.
Fies.
The
I think, yeah,
Five, mate,
It was
yeah.
around the same time, so there was that, and also again, only a young lad watching that, and also the Police Academy movies.
Oh, they are
Oh,
incredible.
They are, but the blonde sergeant woman in that,
Mm.
a,
Yeah.
a woman with massive norks that can kill me.
Oh,
I am yours.
I've heard the term Norks again. I haven't heard Norks
Yeah.
for ages. Cameron Anderson's crew of friends call them Yits.
Yits.
Yeah,
Yits.
Yitties.
Yitties. Yeah.
That just sounds like someone's put young and tits together. That sounds awful.
That's literally what that is. I believe.
Oh, no.
mate,
They
mate,
don't.
Oh,
They don't
no.
think they're part of the modern generation. The
Don't
cretins.
do that.
Cameron, Tanvir, what do you refer to a woman's voluptuous breast as?
What a question. What a question.
them tick old biddies.
Ebenezer the Geezer calls them mommy's milkers.
big,
don't like that.
big fucking titties. Mummy
Don't like
milky. Mummy
Don't like
milky.
I could tell a story, but I'm not going to because I'll get in
It's-
serious trouble.
Yeah, shit like people calling me. I can't do people calling me daddy. Can't do it.
Yeah, but really? Oh, I love that stuff. Oh,
Big-
sorry.
Yeah, but I've got kids.
Yeah, that's very true. I haven't got
I've
kids.
got kids. Yeah.
Cam, what do you call titties?
He calls them yits,
I
doesn't
just said yits.
Oh,
Yitties.
he? Yeah, pay attention.
Look at them big old tick old biddies.
Milk sacks.
Yeah.
Milks.
Fun bags.
Look at them flappy birds.
Flappy Birds. And now we know why Tanvir is single, don't we? Yeah?
Fun cushions.
Yeah.
Fun cushions.
Flotation devices.
We should get Archie Whittle on for this one.
The
He loves
big old
bits.
melons.
The big you're going for a classic. All right, just because obviously we're all about gender equality here, what do we refer to our penis as?
I call my penis the scepter.
Surely you call it the Taj Mahal.
No,
Because it's really disfigured all the way along.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
How have you seen?
And there's a really big bit in the middle for some reason. I'm not sure why.
No wonder he calls you Uncle Mark. Like, he's looking out for you, isn't he?
I pull it down and I say, "Holy cow!" I'm not
Yeah,
you.
he doesn't like Daddy, but he doesn't mind Uncle. I can say that. Cameron Anderson, what do you refer to your cock as?
Oh, the old salami pole.
The
salami.
Oh, beautiful.
That's
Mark, you got
spicy.
anything to add?
Tummy banana.
And obviously, I have to stop at the hieroglyphic hog, so
Oh, I like that.
or the Cairo cod piece, or the Sphinx sausage, or the Nile moth.
Aerophallus.
The disappointment is another
Yes,
one.
disappointment.
Yeah.
Disappointment.
That is just my entire body, mate. Never mind my cock.
It's but I know my cock has once been called "Oh that."
Oh, whoa!
That is such a northern thing, isn't it? Oh, that.
Oh, that.
Oh, that.
That's something. That's how you refer to really bad cattle.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, I'm more than happy to see your Slim Jim. So you just let me know whenever you're ready.
All right, hang on.
Greg sausage.
All right. It's time for the X-rated portion of this podcast because apparently it was PG up until now. I think that's a good place to leave it. What do you call your genitalia at home, ladies and gentlemen? Let the Wrestle Plug know by heading on to @WrestlePlug or emailing us wrestleplug@gmail.com. I look forward to Ajax telling me all about his Mahusive member because I have it on good authority that he is hung like an extremely large stallion. So good for you, Sunshine. Probably explains why you can't bump properly. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a thing. It's been a podcast. I would like to thank SilentMark, Cameron Anderson, and Tanvir for joining me at the State of Wrestling address this week. I look forward to having them hopefully on regularly, especially in terms of SilentMark. SilentMark, did you enjoy your first foray into the State of Wrestling address?
I did. It was wonderful. Thank you very much. Really enjoyed it. So thank you very much, gents, for having me along.
It's been a pleasure, mate. It really is. And hopefully you're going to be a regular guest on here. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we always record it on a Wednesday night now. So if you have any opinions on the wrestling news or even opinions on what genitalia should be called, whether James Bond is good or not, whether I am a snowflake for wanting an Egyptian to play an Egyptian person, just let us know. Like I said, @WrestlePlug across all social media brands. But until next week, don't forget as well, we have a shoot interview dropping this Saturday with Vinny Clay, the commissioner of Cornish Pro Wrestling, and he certainly does not hold back in his opinions of how professional wrestling should be ran and should be just the general behavior of it. It's a real eye-opener, and I highly recommend people check that out. And we've also got a lot of guests coming, good God almighty, Damien, Leonardo, Darwin, amongst others. And of course, you will always get to see the beautiful faces of SilentMark, who of course will be doing Silent and the Death Machine with me, which will be dropping very soon, a lifestyle conversational podcast that's not necessarily wrestling based, but may have wrestling content in it. You can catch Cameron Anderson at Premier Promotions and at CWP as he continues his magnificent journey into wrestling. And if you are so inclined, if you check out the toilets at Crystal Palace, you will no doubt find that Tanvir Verdi will be in there whacking off ferociously to Kazuchika Okada while also hate wanking over Will Ospreay, which should be a very good time of day. And of course, if you want to see me, I'll be the gimp holding a camera or giving you terrible opinions because apparently I'm a fat mark. Thank you very much for your input, young man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching the State of Wrestling address, and we will catch you very soon for more content from the Wrestle Plug. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
I had a really good time. Oh yeah, Carl Wilkins.
Yep, in memory of Carl
The old
Wilkinson.
Spocker, mate. Yeah, fucking right up there. Beautiful stuff.